what really gets people talking right now in Chicago is not just the arrival of Caleb Williams, but the man who's going to be guiding him from day one, Ben Johnson. This isn't just a new coach being brought in to steady the ship. This is a highly respected offensive mind taking full control of the team and the playbook. When your head coach is also your offensive coordinator, you're creating something rare in the NFL, offensive stability, and for a rookie quarterback with immense talent like Caleb, that's gold. Continuity is one of the most underrated ingredients in quarterback development. When the scheme stays the same year after year, the language stays the same. The expectations are consistent, and the growth becomes exponential. For young quarterbacks especially, having to relearn an entirely new offense every 2 years can completely stunt their progress. And that's what makes this pairing so compelling. Ben Johnson is expected to bring in a system built around Caleb's strengths. And if this clicks early, Bears fans might be witnessing the foundation of a long-term franchise duo. This philosophy isn't some vague theory. There are real, proven examples around the league that reinforce how successful this model can be. Look at Kansas City. Andy Reid has been the brain behind the offense since Mahomes stepped on the field, sure. They evolve concepts every offseason, but the core identity is consistent. Mahomes doesn't spend the offseason relearning terminology or adjusting to a new coordinator's vision. Instead, they focus on refining and expanding what already works. That's how dynasties are built. Take Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. The Rams have adjusted their run game concepts over the years, shifting more into gap schemes. But the offensive language hasn't changed. Stafford stepped into a system where the expectations and structure were already solidified, and all he had to do was execute. It's no coincidence that they found immediate success together. Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy are another prime example. Purdy may not be the flashiest quarterback in the league, but he knows the offense like the back of his hand. Shanahan's been calling the same style of plays for years, and Purdy was able to slot into that system and perform because there wasn't an identity crisis or philosophical shift to overcome. Then there's Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow. From day one, Taylor has been the man calling plays in Cincinnati, and that's helped Burrow ascend into one of the most poised and productive quarterbacks in the NFL. There's no constant turnover of voices in his headset. There's one plan, one vision, and it's tailored for him. Same thing goes for Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa. Say what you want about Tua, his health, his ceiling, but when McDaniel came in and took over the offense, we saw Tua hit levels of efficiency and comfort he had never shown before. McDaniel's creativity and consistency gave Tua a stable platform to grow, even in situations where the long-term viability of the coach is still in question. Like McDaniel's, there's no denying the offensive results when everyone is aligned, and that's the pattern. When a head coach is the offensive mind and play caller, the chances of long-term success shoot up. Peyton Manning, a guy who knows just a bit about quarterbacking in the NFL, has pointed this out before. He talks about how having the same system, the same language, and the same philosophy makes a huge difference in a quarterback's career. When every year is a reboot, it's like starting over. But when you stack knowledge and execution on top of a solid foundation, that's when quarterbacks start to dominate. This brings us right back to Chicago. Caleb Williams is entering the league with sky-high expectations and elite talent, but more importantly, he's being paired with a coach who's not only known for drawing up great offenses, but is willing to mold his entire approach around Caleb's strengths. That matters. Johnson has already gone on record saying that part of what drew him to Chicago was the opportunity to coach a talent like Caleb. Sure, there were other factors. A promising young roster, familiarity with the NFC North, but the chance to build something with a quarterback of this caliber was a big piece of the puzzle. That's not just lip service. Johnson had options. He could have gone to other teams. He chose the Bears. That tells you something about what he sees in this pairing. It also shows how committed the organization is to setting Caleb up for success. They're not bringing in an aging coach with a fixed system and hoping Caleb adapts. They're doing the opposite. They're giving Caleb a young, sharp-minded offensive architect who's already talking about building around mobility, off-script creativity, and getting Caleb on the move. And if there's any coach who's proven he can elevate a quarterback, it's Ben Johnson. Just look at what he did with Jared Goff in Detroit. Goff, for all his experience, had plateaued. His best days with the Rams were solid, but nothing compared to what he achieved under Johnson. He became more efficient, more decisive, and frankly, more dangerous. Johnson didn't turn Goff into Patrick Mahomes, but he helped him reach a new level. And if he could do that with Goff, Imagine the ceiling with Caleb Williams. Caleb brings traits Goff never had: the arm talent, the improvisational ability, the athleticism. It's all there. Johnson has already hinted that we'll see offensive concepts in Chicago that didn't appear in Detroit. Because now he has a quarterback who can do things Goff simply couldn't. That's huge. It means we're not just watching a copy-paste of the Lions playbook. We're going to see something dynamic, something tailored, something explosive. And that's what fans have been craving. For years, the Bears' most exciting plays came when Justin Fields broke the pocket and ran for his life. That's not a sustainable model. You can't survive in the NFL living off broken plays and backyard football. You need structure. You need design. You need a system that lets your quarterback shine without relying on chaos. With Ben Johnson at the helm, that structure is coming, and for the first time in a long time, Bears fans can envision an offense that isn't just competent, but dangerous. Of course, it's still year one. No one's saying this is a Super Bowl team out of the gate, but the blueprint is there. The commitment to a long-term vision is in place, and that's more than you can say for a lot of teams out there. Even Peyton Manning's journey reflects this. When he entered the league, it wasn't all smooth sailing. His rookie year in Indianapolis was rough, but he improved dramatically in year two, and everything changed when Tony Dungy arrived. Dungy wasn't even an offensive coach, but he brought stability and a belief in building around Peyton. Then they brought in Jim Caldwell, who became Manning's quarterback coach, and suddenly Peyton took that next leap. People forget that Caldwell later won 9+ games in 3 seasons with Detroit, something no one had done until Dan Campbell came along. That kind of steady presence, that kind of structure, makes all the difference. The Bears are trying to recreate that formula. Ben Johnson is their Tony Dungy, their Jim Caldwell, but rolled into one. He's not just the leader of the team, he's the architect of the offense. And if he and Caleb build that trust, if they find that rhythm, it's not crazy to think this pairing could last a decade or more. We've already seen how long-term quarterback-head coach duos can shape franchises. Andy Reid and Mahomes, McVay and Stafford, Shanahan and Purdy, Zach Taylor and Burrow. Even some newer duos, like Kevin O'Connell and J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota, or Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, are aiming to follow that model. The key is alignment. When the coach and quarterback are on the same page, the ceiling gets a lot higher. So what's realistic for year one? Probably not a deep playoff run, but improvement. Absolutely. You want to see growth. You want to see consistency. You want to see an offense that isn't reinventing itself every week just to survive. You want to see flashes of a system that can stick around, that can grow with the quarterback, that can build year over year instead of starting from scratch. And this staff isn't just about Ben Johnson. They've surrounded Caleb with young, innovative minds who are ready to help him grow. J.T. Barrett, who knows what it's like to be a young quarterback learning a pro system. Declan Doyle, a relative unknown, but someone insiders are calling a whiz kid. These aren't just placeholders. They're part of a plan to create a coaching ecosystem that supports the quarterback. From every angle. It's not about making Caleb fit into a box. It's about taking what he does best, his mobility, his arm strength, his feel for the game, and building an offense that accentuates all of it. That's what great coaching looks like, and Ben Johnson seems ready to deliver exactly that. What makes this setup in Chicago particularly intriguing is that it isn't just about finding the right coach or the right quarterback. It's about timing, alignment, and mutual investment in a shared vision. Caleb Williams is not being thrown into a rebuild with no direction. He's not coming into a situation where he has to make up for systemic shortcomings. He's walking into a system being crafted specifically for him by one of the brightest offensive minds available over the past 2 hiring cycles. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a shocking turn of events that's setting NFL circles abuzz, whispers are growing louder that star defensive end Nick Bosa may have turned his back on the San Francisco 49ers to join the Chicago Bears. While nothing has been officially confirmed by either franchise, multiple sources close to the situation suggest a dramatic shakeup could be underway, and fans on both sides are already reacting with a mix of disbelief and outrage. The word betrayal is being tossed around in Santa Clara, where Bosa has long been seen not just as a defensive powerhouse, but as the heart and soul of the Niners' aggressive front line. Drafted 2nd overall in 2019, Bosa quickly became a franchise cornerstone. helping lead San Francisco to a Super Bowl appearance, and consistently ranking among the league's elite edge rushers. So the mere suggestion that he might be suiting up in navy and orange next season feels like a gut punch to the faithful. So what could possibly push Bosa away from the Bay Area? Speculation points to recent contract tensions and behind-the-scenes disagreements with team management. Despite signing a record-breaking extension in 2023, insiders hint that Bosa has been privately frustrated with the team's long-term direction, particularly in light of their back-to-back playoff disappointments. Some suggest he's been eyeing a new environment where his impact could be even more pronounced, and where his leadership might be more fully embraced. Enter the Chicago Bears. The storied franchise has been quietly rebuilding and, according to league insiders, aggressively pursuing a defensive centerpiece to anchor their resurgent squad. Pairing Bosa with rising star Montez Sweat could give Chicago one of the most terrifying pass-rushing duos in the league. Add to that a rejuvenated roster and a city starving for football glory, and the fit starts to make sense, at least on paper. Still, many fans and analysts are hesitant to believe the buzz. Could Bosa really leave the team that drafted him, that believed in him, and that made him the highest-paid defender in NFL history? Or is this all just off-season noise? The kind of rumor that ignites headlines but ultimately fizzles out, whatever the truth may be. The NFL world is watching. If the rumors prove true, it would mark one of the most shocking player moves in recent years and a major power shift in the league's defensive landscape. For now, all eyes are on Chicago and San Francisco, waiting for someone to break the silence. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.